I'm here with Isaac.
Hello, everyone. Hi, David.
Isaac's been in. We're in Taiwan. We're in Kaohsiung,
Yes.
and there's a chemsex play happening right next door. Do you know what that's about?
Yeah, that's the campus promoting mental health care issue. So we have that by the Love and Hope Association.
Yeah.
And this is the Kaohsiung venue. So we're going to in total 4 cities in Taiwan. This is the first one. And with David
Just
and
the
Greg.
beginning.
Yeah. Is it exciting?
Yeah. So what we're doing today, Isaac was interpreting, and one of the things we were talking about was how the best chemsex support in a city
Yes.
happens where we talk about where gay men go to talk about gay sex very easily.
Yes.
And there are places in Kaohsiung where it's easier to talk about gay sex and some where it's not.
Yes.
And so we started by asking the people in the room if they were comfortable talking about gay sex, penises and bums.
Yes.
And you had to translate this. How was this?
Yeah, so I need to translate it. You can translate it in a very biological way, or you can, because people here in Taiwan still, there's still stigma on sex. So people sometimes are not feeling comfortable to talk about like dick, like very explicitly. They'll use lots of like metaphor, like banana or down part. Or for example, for us, they will use the metaphor like chrysanthemum flower.
Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, chrysanthemum flower.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's the segment. You can imagine that very vividly, right?
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the challenges for people to really talk about us and dick. And it also reflects on the relationship between patients and physicians, or chem users, or anyone who have sex, sharing their sexual history with their practitioner or physicians. So it's really hard even for physicians themselves to initiate a conversation like, how have your sex life recently? How's it going? People sometimes feel embarrassed at both sides, physician side and the patient side.
I think it's the clinician's job first to make the patient comfortable talking about those things. So the clinician starts by talking about penises and bums and chrysanthemums.
Yes.
I think. Did the audience receive that message well today?
I think they got it, but it just people just prefer different, because everyone have their preference in word choice, right?
Yeah.
So some people feel like, the dick is a little bit too explicit. It sounds a bit like, they just prefer to use something more neutral or more so-called politically correct or more.
Which is
biological.
okay,
Yeah.
as long as we talk about the
Yeah.
fact that penises or dicks go into bums, and that's how we spend our weekends, and sometimes we use drugs to do that. And if we can talk about that easily and make our patients or clients or friends or lovers able to talk about it easily by setting the example, and that's okay. So what do you know about, what do you know about chemsex in Taiwan?
I think generally we do have a big problem, especially people using G and methamphetamine and also methadone. Today you got a new name, right? Like it's called meow meow, MEOU, like cat sound, meow meow, because that's how people talk about methadone. And we also have problems of cathetone. Cathinones, yeah. So these are like four common chemsex. We will talk about that, but especially GHB and meth and methadone. I think that's the most common thing. But and also like particularly I think for GHB, GBL, because GBL is kind of it's a kind of industrial product of Taiwan's semiconductor industry. So sometimes it's really hard to even if the government wants to regulate it or try to find where the source is from, then it's hard to really control, to make a safe supply of GBL, for example. We have less GHB, but we have more GBL.
Okay.
Yeah, and for the math, it's quite similar. But I think that especially the GBL issue is mixed with our like industrial business or other things.
Because Isaac has lived in London. He studied in London at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine under Fort Hickson. And so you haven't...
And also separate for prep.
And he also, so he has an understanding of what chemsex is like in London, and you can compare it to a city like this one, Kaohsiung or Taipei.
Yes.
How do they compare?
I feel like chemsex here are still quite deeply stigmatized. maybe I'm biased too, but even I approach both resources or talking about chemsex in both London and Taiwan, whichever city it is. In London, people are more open-minded to talk about chem, and we have lots of great campaign resources from different angles. So you feel it's more liberal to talk about chemsex in different spectrum. Like you can go in from the very public health approach, or going from more like individualism approach to talk about chemsex. But in here, we still like trying to formulate it. We just depart from criminalization and decriminalization and to like pathologisation of problematic chemsex use. It's still very hard to make people to really talk about using chem in different way and how to better sex with least harm. We don't really have harm reduction. We didn't talk much about this in Taiwan. I think that's the main difference, and we still need to learn how to embrace different aspects and different perspective on chem, not just like having like a one way, single way, and narrow-minded. Yeah.
So I think the lessons we have to learn is where everything's still very uptight here. And we can't just jump into penis and the bums. We've got to loosen up everything so that things are more easily discussed.
Yes.
Do you want to wave goodbye to your friends in London?
Hello. Bye. See you very soon. Bye.